Cowboys team, like, I feel like they're getting overlooked because, especially with the new additions on the front line, like, the secondary is starting to play good. So whenever you remove your best offensive lineman, that only makes our defensive line better. And we talked about elevated play from the secondary. What about Chavon Revel? He's been playing amazing. He's been playing really good, and he's actually been making an impact. I would argue right now he's our best corner over Deron Bland. And then that's our corners. We don't even have Josh Butler back here. We don't have Diggs back here. We have so many people missing. This is just like we're scratching the surface as a team.
A miraculous franchise-tying 21-point comeback against the defending NFC champions to a high-stakes Thanksgiving showdown with the AFC powerhouse Chiefs. The Dallas Cowboys are making the season anything but boring.
Yep, you said it. We're coming off that huge chaotic Week 12 where the Cowboys stunned the Eagles 24-21, and they came back from a huge deficit, 21 points down. But now the new focus comes on a short week on Thanksgiving Day with all their fans watching against the Chiefs with a huge injury report and massive playoff implications.
Yep, welcome to the Bucket Talk, guys. It's good to be back. Me and Ahan, we haven't really been on it, but we're here, we're back. We're excited to keep continuing these episodes. And for your hosts today are obviously, like I said, Nirvan Bhattacharya and Ahan Jain. And we're diving deep into that thrilling Eagles game, breaking down the key stats that tell the real story behind the scoreboard. And then
yeah, after that, we're going to go into the Thanksgiving game against the Chiefs, and then we're talking about the injuries for both teams, like Trey Smith on the Chiefs and like George Pickens last game against the Eagles. He got a little banged up, so we'll talk about that. And we'll talk about how that has implications for the whole game.
And then lastly, to cap off, we'll finish off with the Cowboys and how they can get to the playoffs, their road, what's going to be the hardships and, their probability.
Yeah, so let's start it off by talking about like the game against the Eagles, which I thought was like the statement win of the season. Like I don't think they've had a game like that all year. And I just kind of wanted to like rack your brain on that. Like what'd you think about the game?
Oh man, not gonna lie, first half it was not exciting. I was in my seat, me and my dad, we were pretty pissed. It was really sloppy football in the first half, right? I think not even that necessarily the Cowboys were playing bad, but shooting themselves in the foot with penalties. The defense was letting up.
Bad throws.
Yeah, we weren't generating any pass rush, and then offensively, we kept fumbling. We kept fumbling the ball. We had crucial penalties, and Dak obviously had a really bad interception.
Yeah.
So let's dive in a little bit of these stats. So let's start off with Cowboys and Dak Prescott. 23 for 36, 354 yards, 2 touchdowns. And QBR 114, he only threw 1 pick, like we said, to Cooper DeJean, I believe, right?
No, it was Reed Blankenship.
Reed Blankenship, yeah. And honestly, in the first half, like I was saying earlier, he was scaring me, but really turned up Jets and played that Dak Prescott football we've been seeing all year. Then rushing, Javonte Williams came in big this game, even though I think, we could have utilized him towards the end of the game in the goal line. I don't know why we threw it, but he had 20 attempts, 87 rushing yards, average 4.35 yards per carry. He's been doing that all year. It's been a huge asset for us. Then receiving, Ferguson, obviously, our safety guy, and obviously George freaking Pickens, man.
Yeah, he played really good.
Dog. And we also need to talk a little bit about CeeDee Lamb, but here, I want you to take over.
Yeah, so I was going to say, like, even in the first half, like, whenever we were trailing 21-0, the stats for both teams were, like, nearly identical. The same amount of passing yards, same amount of rushing yards, same amount of, like, offense created. It was just the turnovers. So, like, if you really look at it, the Cowboys could have won by so much more if they just didn't fumble or have any of those costly penalties. Like, there was one drive in the first quarter where we stopped them, like, 2 or 3 times. And then on the punt, we roughed the kicker. So then they got the first down. And then after that, we stopped them on 3rd down again. And then we got another penalty. So they got another first down. So it's just like stuff like that. And in this game, I feel like Brian Schottenheimer as a coach really struggled because there's crucial decisions. Like the first quarter, it's 4th and 1 to take the lead. Like, no, it's like you went for it on like the 2 after being stopped with a pass play 3 times in a row. And then you passed it again. So that didn't make any sense to me. And then at the end of the game, the same thing happened. Like they passed 3 times in a row. And this was to take the lead. It was 21-21. They didn't kick the field goal. They went for it on 4th down and they got stopped again. So like unless the defense showed up, which they did this time, which normally doesn't happen, like we should have lost the game. So I feel like a lot of his rookie coaching struggles came out in this game, specifically with the decision making. And also the timeout management in the 4th quarter at the end of the game was really poor. Like they could have cost us the game as well. Like there was one point where we got a first down and there was 40 seconds left and we took a timeout. I was like, why did we take the timeout? I literally thought the Eagles took the timeout because of how dumb the timeout was. So just like stuff like that, like as a rookie head coach is improving on, but like it could have cost us the game this time.
Yeah, and I like to agree with you. I think both sides, sloppy football game. Eagles, I think, had like 10 plus penalties, maybe more than 13.
10 plus penalties, yeah.
Yeah. And I think Eagles really should have beat us, right? They had the 21 point lead, right? And we kind of just rallied and fought back, and the Eagles started, our defense started to show up, and offense started to figure it out. But I think the Eagles also shot themselves in the foot the second half compared to
Yeah,
we shot ourselves in the foot the first half. But like Schottenheimer said, a game's not win the first half, the second half, the third half. This
it's the
game
fourth
is
quarter.
fourth quarter, sorry,
Yeah,
quarter, yeah.
but
So
yeah, with also, but like this game, we would not have won it without George Pickens. Like George Pickens from the Steelers, getting him for a third round pick and a sixth round pick is like the greatest trade in. I'm not gonna say greatest trade in Cowboys history, but it's probably up there for one of the most impactful moves for
recent
the
years for
yeah
sure.
recent years
Yeah.
for sure. And speaking of trades, another big trade, Quinnen Williams.
Oh
Without
man.
him, this defense wouldn't be anywhere. Like you're
Oh
telling
man.
me 2.5 weeks ago we gave up 44 points, and then now the last two games we've given up a combined 30 rushing yards or something like that to Saquon and Ashton Genty. And then the Eagles only put 21 points on us, and the Raiders put like double digits, like 14, 17, something like that. I'm telling you, like Quinnen Williams elevated the play of everyone else around him, even the secondary. Because now we have
Mm-hmm.
so much rush. Osa's getting to the passer. Quinnen's getting to the passer. Ezraku's getting to the passer. Kenny's getting to the passer. And then if you look on the film, whenever they try and run, Quinnen just blows up everything. Like against
Mm-hmm.
Landon Dickerson,
Mm-hmm.
Quinnen just went straight through him and just blew up the whole
Mm-hmm.
play.
Mm-hmm.
It's just stuff like that. Like we traded Micah, obviously, but we have another player who can show up in big games now. So it's really impressive to see the two trade acquisitions show out and really be the best two players on our team right now.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. I mean, I'll talk a little bit about Pickens and Quinnen as well, but I mean, I honestly, I mean, people might hate me for saying I'm gonna have two takes. I think it's safe to say that we won Quinnen or the Micah Parsons trade. If you look at obviously, I'd love to have Micah back on the team. Phenomenal pass rusher. And he's having a great season. I know some people are saying he's not playing well. He's still having a pretty good season.
Yeah,
But if you look at, the value, and what we got with Quinnen, and also Micah was, he was asking
a
too
lot of
much. We
money.
couldn't,
Yeah,
yeah, we can't, we simply don't have that cap. And with Quinnen and you add Kenny Clark, obviously, our edge rushers aren't as strong, but I think, like you were saying, Quinnen, like, what makes him so versatile is he's obviously an interior lineman. You can't ask for an interior lineman to do much in the pass rush, right? They're slower, they're bigger, they're not really going to get back there. The edge rushers are going to be the main guys, making the QB hits, the pressures, the sacks. But for Quinnen, like this
doesn't
guy can
matter.
do
Yeah,
everything, right? Like you were mentioning. I mean, he's playing a three tech in the B gap, blowing the block up and forcing Saquon to either bounce outside or just literally get tackled
swallowing
for
him for a
loss.
loss
Yeah,
of like
yes,
three.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And then in the pass rush, I mean, that's like you were saying, elevating our secondary. Deron Bland almost got himself a pick, which we haven't seen in a while. I mean, he was
yeah.
hurt all of last year, but this year we have not seen, good secondary play whatsoever. So him just being, and he's slowly becoming, a veteran. I mean, he's been in the league for some time now,
He's
and
like hitting the prime right now. He's
yeah,
hitting
he's
his
hitting
prime
his
right now.
prime, and he's just elevating our whole defensive line. Our backers are able to fit the gaps better, and yeah, that's just been a huge asset for us. And then, obviously, man, Pickens, hate me, I don't care. I think Pickens is better than CD this year,
As of now,
and
as of now,
yeah,
as
as
of
of
now.
now, and he's been balling. I mean, and what I've noticed a big difference, and obviously, you go in the past with the Steelers, he doesn't have notable QBs to help him, helps show his, how good he is. And yeah, he might be, locker room, he might not be the best chemistry guy. Apparently, him and CD were out at the casino before the Raiders game. But shoot, he had how much? 100 yards, touchdown,
Yeah, he had
120 yards.
146, a touchdown, and a
Yeah.
long of 43. And one thing I will mention about Pickens, a lot of people think it's just the quarterback play. If you look at the route tree that Pickens has been killing people with this year, it's
Yes.
all over the middle of the
Slants.
field,
Yep.
all slants. Last year
Yeah.
in Pittsburgh, he didn't run in the middle of
Yeah.
the field. They would just ask him to go outside.
Yeah.
So like
Go.
you see a lot of the struggles from Pickens last year in Pittsburgh because he wasn't getting the ball.
Exactly.
They
Mhm.
weren't putting him in a position to succeed. And I feel like Schottenheimer has made it a known point that he wants Pickens to get the ball. So
Mhm.
having all of his routes come across the middle of the field and then the occasional outside bomb, like over Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship, like it just so much more versatile. And it doesn't only
Yeah.
open up the game for him, it opens up the game for everyone else. Like now you can
Mhm.
do a multitude of things with CeeDee Lamb across the middle as well. Or you could just have him as a
Even you see
decoy.
Turpin with a
Yeah,
big play in the
Turpin
first
too.
quarter. Yeah, yeah, I love to. I completely agree with that versatility Pickens has to offer, and I think his game is elevated because in the past, people have just seen him as like a just a
Probably. Yeah.
aggressive catch receiver, AJ Brown type guy with lacking route running. But I mean, this year it seems like he's not even
Yeah.
trying, and
Good
people
after
can't guard
catch.
him.
Yeah.
You put him on a dig, a slant, a post, and then obviously we have it where we need a big third down play, go ball. Pickens just comes down with it, right?
Or not even a
And
go ball. Like you saw, like against the Eagles, it was a huge situation. Dak
yeah,
literally just threw it only where Pickens could get it. Like
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
crazy catch radius, like all the way up here, and the
Hmm.
other guy was just too little. Like he literally just couldn't get the
Yeah,
ball. So it's just like
yeah,
stuff like that. Like it's like
yeah.
unguardable almost.
Because he's not only such a good aggressive catch receiver, he can moss people, but now he looks so shifty. Even yards after the catch have been
He's fighting for every
so good. I
yard.
mean,
Yeah.
he's been, yeah, like the Raiders. Oh my God, the Raiders touchdown he had,
Yeah.
like that, he just put him in a blender.
And against
And
the
like that,
Panthers too. Yeah, he had some
yeah, that
crazy
big play
run
we're
after
seeing is
catch.
like this is helping us so much. I mean, it's opening up for Turpin. Even Ryan Flournoy has been, seeing
Getting
a
some
little bit of
yards. Yeah.
targets. Yeah. So,
We're
but now
talking.
let's talk
Yeah.
about yeah, a
Yeah.
little. Oh, sorry.
We're
Let's talk
talking
about a
about like
little
the
bit about.
pass game, but
Hmm.
like a big part of the pass game is the blocking.
Hmm.
And I feel like Tyler Booker has gone like unnoticed.
Hmm.
Like against like Jalen Carter had two pressures the whole game. Tyler Booker dominated him. There was a clip that went viral on Draft Night. I love to see the fear of my like I love to see the love of the game for my opponents like go out of their eyes as soon as they go
Hmm.
against me. And Jalen Carter mocked him for that. He had an
Yeah,
interview early in the week. He mocked him for that. I don't
yeah,
think there's anything to mock now. Like he literally had his way with him. You can go back on the film. Like it was insane. The one of the pressures he had, he was just unblocked, and the other one wasn't even against Tyler Booker. So against Tyler Booker, he had negative impact. He was like a
hmm
negative on the field. It was actually amazing to see.
yeah. And like, I think that's a huge reason of why the second half we were able to open up the pass game so much, right? And even the running game, and Javante was, running all over the place. But like you were saying, Booker has been, especially, I mean, he's been good, but he was phenomenal this game, especially against Jalen Carter, one of the best interior linemen in the NFL, especially in the run and even in the pass.
Yeah.
And I feel like, our whole offensive line just came out to play on
Sunday. Yeah.
last Sunday. Yeah, I mean, Dak was out there eating sandwiches. He was in the
In the
pocket
pocket. Yeah.
forever, and he could just throw dimes to Pickens, set up Ferguson, set up CD. So I mean, it was just phenomenal blocking, and I think that's a huge factor in why we were able to come back in this game.
Yeah, and even though Dak didn't have his best game, it was still enough to win, which is amazing.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
like normally you need Dak to have his best game to even have a shot, but this time everyone else chipped in, which is great. So now I
Yeah.
think we should shift our focus a little bit to next week on Thanksgiving Day and talk about the Chiefs game. So notable injuries from the Chiefs are that Trey Smith is fully out, so that like our D line will have a game. He's their best offensive lineman, and
Yeah.
then Noah
And he's a
Gray is also
guard,
he's
so
a guard.
expect a huge game from Quinnen.
Quinnen, yeah, and then Noah
Hmm.
Gray's also out there, second string tight end. A couple of limited participants are Rasheed Rice, Xavier Worthy. Yeah, but they were full participants on Wednesday. So on Monday they were a little bit limited. So we'll see how that works out. And then for the Cowboys point side, it's Tyler Guyton's out, and then Kalen Carson was
Hmm.
limited, and Pickens was
Hmm.
also limited. So we'll see how that works.
Hmm. And I think Pickens should be a full. He should be able to play. But yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about Rasheed Rice because I don't know if you've seen the Colts and Chiefs game last week where they I believe they came back and won the
They
game.
won.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
won the
won. They
game. Yeah,
won.
yeah, and they were down. They weren't playing good in the first half. So if you see towards the end of the game, Rasheed had a monster game. SMU legend. I love Rasheed Rice, but he him towards the end of the game, I think he had a hamstring injury, and
Yeah,
he was kind
exactly.
of he sat
Exactly.
out a
Yeah.
little bit, kind of played through it. So I mean, this gonna be tough for the Chiefs because he's been phenomenal when after his suspension coming back and just balling out. So that's gonna be a huge asset. I mean, he's playing, but it didn't look good towards the end of the game. But that's gonna be, I think, the way we win is we have to slow him down. Rasheed Rice, he's too good of a player. That's gonna be Mahomes' go-to guy. And then
Kelsey.
there's
Yeah.
just a lot of speed across the board with the Chiefs receivers. So I think, generating that pass rush with Quinnen, completely erasing their run game because we can't let, Kareem Hunt. He's not that good, but I think we
Yeah,
should be
I
able to
feel
handle
like
that.
I feel like the Chiefs' run game will be like non-existent against us because like the
Yeah.
last 2 weeks
Hmm.
we've held two of the best backs in football to 32 yards combined, 2.2 yards per carry from Saquon, 1.6 from Ashton Genty. So it's like if we get Kareem Hunt now without his best offensive lineman, I'm not worried at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for the pass game, I will say, especially without Trey Smith, this Cowboys team, like I feel like they're getting overlooked because with
Mhm.
especially with the new additions on the front line, like the
Mhm.
secondary is starting to play good. So whenever you remove your best offensive
Mhm.
lineman, that only makes our defensive line better. And we talked
Mhm.
about elevated play from the secondary. What about Chavone Revel? He's been playing amazing.
Mhm.
He's been
Yep.
playing really good and has actually
Mhm.
been making an impact. I would argue right now he's our best corner over Deron
Mhm.
Bland. And then that's
I
our
agree with that.
corners. We don't have Josh Butler back yet. We don't have Diggs back
Mhm.
yet. We have
Mhm.
so many people missing. So this is just like we're scratching the surface as a team.
Mhm.
I would say. So I would say we have a good chance in this Chiefs game, even though they're favored by 3, because all of these factors are getting overlooked. I feel like
Mhm.
our defense is significantly improved, and obviously our offense goes without saying it's the best in the league. So like I would argue that like our passing attack, and then I think we'll be able to keep up on defense. Is just going to be too much to handle with a lackluster run game and without your
Yeah.
best guard to guard Quinton. So Quinnen. So
Yeah, yeah. And I agree with that. I think we have a solid chance, but I'm also a little worried on the other hand. I think, this is still the Chiefs we're talking about. They might not be having the season they always have, but I think in the past that's how it's always been. And guess what? They come out to play in big games, they come out to play in playoffs, and then that's how they win championships.
they know how to win.
But
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And what really makes me a little nervous about this game is obviously Mahomes and just how poised this whole team is, especially when they're down in the game. And I think we showed that good trait last week against the Eagles, but I feel like if we start out the game how we did against the Eagles and just let Mahomes, he's not gonna slow down, especially with that offense they have and the speed they have all across the board. So I'm just a little worried. I think our offense will be fine, but this Chiefs defense, they may not have all the talent. They have Chris Jones, but they have Bolton, but I think talent-wise they're not outstanding, but they just know how to play. They make the plays when it matters, and they come out in close game situations, and that helps the offense go down and score. So I think it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. I think we have to play very fundamentally sound football. We have to avoid penalties, and I don't think Dak should avoid any
He
turnovers.
can't have a
Obviously,
bad
that's
game. I
yeah,
think
he
this
can't have a
time he
bad
needs
game.
his best game for us to win.
Exactly. And I really think, Rasheed will have a big game. Worthy might have 70 yards, but, us erasing that run game completely is going to help. And I think if we generate a pass rush on Mahomes, we've seen against the Colts, he was a little antsy, right? The Colts were getting back
Whenever
there.
you put pressure on him, his
Hmm.
decision making isn't the best. So I feel
Is
like
it
a
isn't the
lot of
best? Yeah, yeah.
a lot of blitzes might be in store,
Yeah, we
even
might
if we
blitz a
lose.
lot, and our backer play has improved a lot. Obviously, we picked up
Overshown.
Wilson. Overshown is now back, so I think it's a winnable game. But we shouldn't, us as Cowboys fans, we get that stereotype of delusion and all that. We shouldn't hold our heads too high because this is still the
Hard
Chiefs we're
game, yeah.
talking about, still Mahomes. Mahomes will obviously with the safety blanket, Kelsey, and he has Rasheed Rice, Worthy. So it's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tough game. We're playing at home though. I know you're going like you said,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be a fun one.
Let's talk about the road to the playoffs now. I feel like it only gets harder from here. Like we have a gauntlet of a schedule coming up. I just said we have the Chiefs, then we have Detroit, which we really can't afford to lose that game because we're neck and neck with
Hmm.
Detroit right now. We have Minnesota, LA, and then Washington, and then New York to end it out. Looking at the playoff chances, if we win every game and then we lose against the Chiefs, we have like a 75% chance of making the playoffs. But if we win
Hmm.
every game and then lose versus Detroit, we have like a 58% chance. So it's like you can
Hmm.
afford to lose one of these games because like even with all the other teams like we play, it's like still a 75% chance. You can afford to lose one of these games, but it really can't be Detroit. And Detroit
Hmm.
is what I feel like will be the toughest game to win. It's a really hard game. You go to Detroit, you have to play Jameer Gibbs off of his humongous week. I don't know.
Humongous, 55
Yeah,
fantasy points.
yeah, so like I don't know. We'll see
Um,
how that works. Like that's a scary game for me, especially with
mhm.
Dan Campbell, that amazing defense, amazing offense. Like they're just a very fundamentally sound team.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that, but this may be a little bit of, delusion from me, but I feel like we're always able to beat Detroit,
Somehow,
even when they're
somehow,
having
some
a
way. Yeah.
great year, somehow, some way. I mean, I went to the game last year. Some of the best football we played, it was against Detroit. And I think, yeah, it's going to be a tough one, right? The run game, it's going to be hard to stop because these guys are, they're not really a power back. They're going to do a lot of outside runs, so try to
Yeah,
get Quinn and least involved as they can and make him,
yeah.
not try to not get him, to disrupt everything. So it's gonna be hard.
That game will really
Obviously,
decide how
Amon
good our
Ra,
defense is. Yeah.
J-Mo, it's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tough game. Their defense is playing good, but I think Detroit has been on and off. They
Yeah,
have a really good game there here, and then some games they don't play that good Lions football.
they're not leading the division. It's Chicago
They
right
haven't
now.
been they haven't
Yeah,
been as consistent this year as I really thought they would have been. So I think, if we come out the game and just just come out the game quick, run the
We can't
ball
get off to
well.
a slow start. We
Yeah,
have
we
to
can't get off.
dominate from the get.
That has to be the
For
motto this year.
every game, for the Chiefs game, we
Yeah.
cannot get off to a slow start either because
hmm
Mahomes and the offense is going to come out firing.
hmm
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
and
really
then like you were saying earlier, I mean, I think Minnesota, Washington, New York, all games we can win. The Chargers, I still think we can win.
it'll be a
Not an
hard
easy
game,
game
but we
by any
can win.
means,
We can win.
but we can win. So yeah, if we, say we lose to the Chiefs and beat the Lions, like you were saying, I think I was looking Jeff Saturday. He was saying there's like an 83% chance we get in the playoffs. So that's huge, but I mean, it's not an easy task, right? We have to at least go. We
Cowboys
have
can
two
be
games coming up.
Cowboys. Cowboys can
Yeah,
be
Cowboys
Cowboys.
can be
Like we lose
Cowboys.
against Arizona, we lose against Carolina, but then we just beat
Exactly.
Philadelphia. So it's like
Exactly.
it's a trade off. Like some games you might think are easy, like the Giants game and the Commanders game might be the easiest game of the year, but we still can't chalk up a win. It's like
Exactly. And then the Giants just took the Lions in overtime. And, Dart has been playing good. I mean, they've had a lot of injuries, but they've been able to rally well. Commanders, Daniels is out for
he's
the
coming
season.
back next week.
He's coming
He
back.
might
So,
not play this week, but he'll play next week. It's just kind of crazy to think because he literally
yeah.
snapped
So
his elbow in
that
half.
may not be, that's a tough game. It's going to be a good one because Dan Quinn going up against him. And then the Chargers, I mean, with a healthy O-line, they're probably a really good playoff team. I think
Yeah,
their offense has been playing well.
just the
Defense
O
has been
line's
playing
been
outstanding
hurt.
well.
That's the only
The
problem.
O-line has
Slater
been
and
really
Joel.
bad. Yeah, really bad, the O-line. So
They have
that should be a
weapons
tough
though.
one. Minnesota, I think we should come out and win. I don't think we'll probably
Minnesota should be a pretty comfortable win, I would say.
comfortable.
McCarthy's
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
I don't know how after this year they stick with him. We'll see. That's like a whole different conversation. But
He hasn't been thrown to Justin Jefferson. I don't know. He hasn't been getting him as involved as he should be, I think. So,
yeah. Well, I think that about wraps it up for today. It was a great episode, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys next time. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about the Cowboys next week for sure. And yeah, look forward to seeing you guys then and stay tuned.
stay in tune and happy Thanksgiving. Go
Happy Thanksgiving.
Cowboys.